Good morning, everybody. Orange Jay here with another War of the Visions video, and today we're going to talk about a couple things. We got a pretty exciting couple of episodes to film today. We're going to start by talking about Jayden. We're going to move on to talking about the new raids that are dropping this week. Kind of give a preview of like if Jayden's going to be good or not, if he's somebody you want to go for. And then pivot into like, are the raids going to be something you're going to be able to do? Which units should you use? Just kind of go over the raids in general. But let's definitely start with Jayden. Now, Jayden is a 100 cost light unit. And if you're thinking to yourself, you're like, hold up, didn't we just have a 100 cost light unit? Yes, we did. So I want to start this video out with a big time reminder, right? I do the hashtag stay strong thing. I'm going to like double down on that this time because I'm telling you, we're about to get Halloween stuff. So I think Jayden is going to be good. I am going to pull for Jayden. And if you've been saving Viz for Jayden, I think he's going to be worth it. Cash that Viz you're in. If you are kind of on the fence and you want to see what the Halloween units are going to look like, hey, that's probably going to start next week. I don't know if we'll get like all of the new Halloween stuff, cough cough Frederica, next week, but a lot of it's going to be coming. Just keep all those things in mind when you're thinking about how to spend your Visior. Okay, let's talk about Jayden a little bit though, and I want to start by talking about one of the reasons you should consider pulling for him this week, and that's his Visior consumption bonus. We do not get this very much. I think this is something like maybe the second time we've ever gotten something like this, but notice if you spend Visior this week on Jayden or anything else, you will get a kickback. So like 500 Viz, you're going to get skip tickets, and that's cool, but 500 Viz is almost nothing. If you are reasonably going for this unit, you're probably going to clear this whole first column. That is what, a whole duplicate worth of his shards, plus 50 million gil, a bunch of rainbow spheres, 3. It's 3, it's still nice. And then some EXP XL cubes. If you have to go deep for Jayden, you will at least get rewarded with another duplicate and then some mind spheres and blossoms. So really, like, you are going to get a bonus this week for spinning Visior. Keep that in mind. That bonus will go away on the 19th. So maybe if you're going to wait, maybe wait till Monday to see what the news for next week is, and then go for him because you'll still catch the bonus. That's my little tip right there. Now, getting to Jayden himself, let's start this off like we start a lot of our videos, and let's look at his stats. And here you see his stats at level 99, 115, and 120. Keep in mind, he's a double cost unit, so 100 cost. And he is a missile unit that scales off of magic. We have not had a unit like that before. So real quick, let's run over these. At 99, he's sitting at 2283 HP, 356 magic. He's very fast at 66 agility. You like to see that. Then he's kind of basic after that. He does have nice high dex at 254, which scales way up to 322 by 120. No defense, no spirit, move 3, jump 1. Weak to dark because he's light. And then let's check out his resist a little bit. He has 30 missile resist. That's pretty crazy, right? 30 missile resist, that's a ton of base missile resist. Plus he has 10 magic resist. He is slightly weak to pierce, slightly weak to strike, and he is neutral to slash. Neutral to slash is okay. It's way better than being weak to slash. Now, how does he scale up? Well, if you get him to 120, his HP will jump all the way up to 3,000. That's a nice boost. His magic jumps up, I'm going to say marginally, to 444. It's not a massive jump. It's less than 100. But 444 is he will be fine at 444 magic. His agility doesn't go up anymore, but he didn't need that. His dexterity, like I said, is a big number, and he scales off of dexterity, as well as that'll help him crit. So that is a nice one. He's resistant to being turned into a frog, being poisoned, and being slowed, none of which are particularly relevant. So thinking about those things, like, is Jayden gonna be worth? Well, we need to look at his skills. We need to look at more than that to tell, because he is a different unit. Like, he's odd. So check this out. What I did, I compared him to another 100 cost magic unit we have in the game. You might have heard of this girl before, Black Rose Helena. She's around. You've probably seen her 700 times this week in Arena or Guild Wars. And look how their stats compare. Black Rose Helena, these are at 120 by the way, has more HP than Jayden does, has more magic than Jayden does. Jayden is faster than her, but Black Rose Helena makes up for that with her vision card specifically. Like, Black Rose Helena is one of the most overpowered units in the game, so her stats, I would say, are, like, on paper, a little bit better than his. But, like I said, Black Rose Helena is one of the most overpowered units in the game. Key on overpowered there. I think Jayden will do particularly well against her. He has an insane amount of range in his kit. And when we go look at his kit here in a second, you'll see what I mean. He's going to be able to stand back. If you want somebody to fight Black Rose Helena specifically, I think Jayden can actually accomplish that job on certain maps in certain conditions. Not the current, like, Guild Wars map where you start in her face. I think she'd probably win that fight. But, okay, hold on. We're just speculating. How about we go actually look at his stats a little bit here. Let me get this off the screen. Here's our guy, Jayden. Now, let's start by checking out his accessory, the Rundle. It's not Randall. This is the JP site translated to English. So his cousin Randall showed up to show off his pendant here. It's the Rundle emblem. This is pretty good. If you were thinking about maybe slow building Jayden to 99, I do think the Rundle emblem here is worth picking up. It is, though, only usable by missile units, by, like, ranged units, right? Stat line on it, 302 HP, 7 spirit, 12 accuracy, and 9 crit rate is okay. It's not, again, if we're comparing to Black Rose Helena, her TMR is better. Her TMR is just better than this one. But the skill on this is nice. Missile attack 25 for 3 turns. And then I'm going to call it a shield because that's the best way I think I can explain it. 2,500 maybe temporary HP. It's basically a shield made out of health for 2,500. So if somebody hit you for, let's say, 3,000, I believe it would burn through the shield and then you would take 500 damage. Boom, there you go. So it's nice. It makes him a little bit tankier, or any of the ranged units wearing it a little bit tankier. Cool. Like, I think this is good, and if you get him to 99, I think you can get some run out of this TMR even before you get him to a point where he's maybe usable for your team. Let's look at his skills. Now, his support skills, here you're going to start seeing where Jayden kind of comes to shine, right? He has a range buff right here, foresight from his new job. Range +2, that's nice. Magic power up from Black Mage, you're probably not going to run this one very much. It's a 30% magic buff, which is good, but that's just more damage. Now, Overlord's personality. Remember, he has very high agility. This is a 12% agility buff for him, and 40 spirit penetration. Even though he's a missile unit, he needs that spirit penetration because his abilities scale off of magic, which means they will be checked by the enemy's spirit. So 40 spirit pen, really, really nice. He can increase his initial AP by 15 if you want to do that from Red Mage, and he does start a little low on the AP side. Like, it's not terrible. It's not like a regular physical DPS unit, but he doesn't have a ton of AP like what Elena has, for example. And then you can get Mage's Blessing from Red Mage for magic resistance. I think you run this one pretty much all the time. Then you mix in some range or some magic resistance or magic. You can pick and choose maybe that second one depending on the map. Okay, his counter abilities. Here we go. He has really, like, magic closeout is one you want to talk about, I think. This is magic evasion, a 20% chance to just evade magic for himself. Then he has magic counter and shooting counter, basically, both of which do scale off of magic. Shooting counter moves are always scary to me because sometimes you just shoot your own teammate in the back. Those are rips. I don't know. These aren't great. You probably run magic evade just to dodge some, like, Black Rose Helena nukes. Okay. Main job. What can this guy actually do? Shooting in the middle, 100% hit move, nice range on it, 6 casts, only cost 15 AP. This is a good, like, oh, I don't like this. Hold on, watch it. Hold up. We need to, we're going to swap back over here real quick. Sorry about that. Let's, there. Okay. This is better for now. This is my first for whatever. Okay. This is 100% hit attack, nice range, 15 AP. It's good. Sniper stance. This is a 25% missile buff for himself and a +1 range increase for 3 turns. It is EX upgraded, and the EX upgrade, all it really adds is 1 more turn to the buff. This is okay, in my opinion. As far as EX upgrades go, this one does feel a little bit weak, Okay, so there you go. That's my thought on that one. Still a 25% missile resistance buff. I mean, this dude is going to be really good against missile units, and this buff will help him be that. I think this might be turned, I don't know. Not my favorite. Next up, Enchanted Bullet. This is a small AoE with decent range on it, right? 165% damage with an attack debuff, 38% for 3 turns. It is EX upgraded to a bigger range, right? Like the range increases. It is now range, like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 on this one. On this one, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's nice, right? That's a good little EX buff, but I'm not overwhelmed by his EX buffs. I think that's kind of one of my takeaways from his EX buff. Now, he gets some good moves. Stag Command. I think this is an amazing buff. It's an AoE buff based on himself, so you'll run to your teammates. You will buff agility for your allies by 20% for 3 turns, and increase magic 60% for 3 turns for yourself. 60%. That's a big time magic buff. I really like Stag Command. Then he has, holy cow, what did I click on? He has Piercing Shot, Missile Resistance Penetration for 30 for himself. So that's going to stack really well with his passive Spirit Penetration. This will penetrate the other thing that could resist his damage in Missile Resistance. 30 for 3 turns for himself, and then it deals 200% damage. Has range height 1 and a nice range of 5 on it. Pretty good move. Okay, his job level 25 ability, Golden Durian. I don't know what that's going to be called in English. Here it is. It's 200% damage. Again, nice range of 5 with a range height of 4. That is important for a gunner unit because a lot of times their range height is really suspect. This is 4, that's nice. Then it has a CT debuff 15 times for the target. That's not massive. It's not a huge CT decrease, but if it's a close fight and like maybe the enemy's about to go next, you decrease their CT, then your next unit finishes them off. It could be a game changer. I like that move, and I think the AI will use it because it does 200% damage and has range height 4. So the AI will have to use that in a lot of situations. Okay, if you wanted to run his main job, sub-job, here it is, King of the Stag. He gets Twin Demon Shooting. This is just a 2-hit. It's like it would be a PvE missile chaining light attack, right? 3 uses, 2-hit, range 4, range height 1, 165% damage, basic chaining ability. Then he has Paralyzed Shot. Y'all know what Paralyzed Shot is at this point. 165% damage with a shot at Paralyzed. I don't know what sub-job you're going to want to run on him. King of the Stag feels like a PvE sub-job to me, but when you go a little bit lower, his other sub-jobs are kind of interesting. Black Mage, he has Banish, Banishra, Drain, Flare. Like, you might run this one to give him access to a second damage type, right? Like, he has missile damage that scales off of magic. This would give him magic attacks in case you ran into somebody. Just stacking a whole bunch of missile resist, maybe, dropping a flare on him might be a good call. Okay, then if you go down to Red Mage, well, you get Jamming Thrust. And who doesn't love a good cast of the Jamming Thrust? So that's pretty cool. Plus you get Banishra here as well, and it gives him some heals. So we'll have to see how his AI uses that, but maybe Cura could be really clutch in like a Guild Wars situation where you go into your second fight and can heal up some of your allies. Real quick, his Limit Break, Magic Barrier Destroy, range of 4, range height 2, 3-hit combo, 200% damage. So here's the deal. The AI will really like to use this ability. One, because it breaks barriers. The AI likes to break barriers. That was an update several months ago. It's a 3-hit attack, 200% damage. So it will build its own chain, which will allow it to do a lot of damage. The AI will like this ability, I think. 43 AP is a little steep, but it's a good move. I like it a lot. Basically, here's what I think about our boy Jayden if I was going to start wrapping it up. Right here, let me put my face back on the screen. Let's talk about him. So, all right. Is he going to be good? Yes. Yeah, I do think Jayden is going to be good. His range seems really nice. His damage, I believe, will be high. He's a light element unit. There are a lot of other strong light element units to run with him. Is he going to be like game-changing like a Black Rose Helena or a Dwayne? I think he will be good into them because he can stay far away from them, hit them with their elemental weakness and do a lot of damage, but I don't think he's gonna like permanently shift the game into like Black Rose Helena Dwayne. unfortunately, are so strong. Like, I feel like other things are held to their standard almost unfairly. But if you're a light element player and you think King Jayden is cool, I think it would be worth getting him. We'll talk a little bit more about his vision card here in another video. This video is already getting a little long. If you combine him with his vision card, I think he will be really strong in your light element teams. Maybe running him with like a Fina if you got your level 120 Fina, or like a Camilo if you have your level 120 Camilo.